This prayer is called Undivided Light, and this was written by a good friend of mine, Bill Hungersford. We pray this day to our higher self, which is the one undivided light of the mind. This one mind, resting in perfect stillness, is simultaneously everywhere at once. We celebrate in this moment, knowing that we are one with the undivided light of the mind at rest. In perfect stillness, we are, I am. Okay. I'll tell you a little bit about my background. About 8 years ago, I was working for an advertising agency as a vice president, working long 12-hour days and really into my job and my career. And then all of a sudden, everything came crashing down. I lost everything that I thought was valuable, everything that I thought was important. And I realize now that I really need a ton of bricks to hit me over the head before I get something. So I had the ton of bricks just come crashing down and hit me. Some people call it a dark night of the soul, but I like to call it one curtain coming down and another one rising. Because where I am now, I couldn't have possibly imagined this space and this reality of where I am now. So I had a spontaneous awakening. And all of a sudden, the veil was parted and lifted, and my third eye opened. It was at the time, it was amazing, but it was scary too. I thought I was going crazy. I had no idea what was happening. I was on my way to see a friend of mine, Judy Satori, and I started speaking light language to myself in the car on the way over to see Judy. And I was like, what is happening? What is happening? I started channeling masters and ascended masters and angels and beings. It was like a whole new world opening up to me. Then all of a sudden, all of the communication with spirit and the channeling stopped overnight. Nothing. And I thought, what did I do? Did I do something wrong? And I spent a lot of time meditating, and I realized that what I was told was that we have everything that we need within us. Anything that is out there, any light, any messages, can be tainted with that person's personality or their agenda. So, and I was relying on that too much. Another thing is when you're first awakening, you have this bright light, and it's like moths and insects are attracted to the flame, and you get all kinds of energies coming at you and hitting you. And I thought because everything was all love and light, and they were coming on as being love and light, I thought they were authentic. No, they were not. There are a lot of false energies out there. And I was cut off from all spirit communication to give myself time to go within and trust myself and get in touch with my higher self and my heart-centered self. So that's where I am now. And I really wanted to talk about the shift that is happening right now. Is anyone feeling anything? Any of the energies? Does anybody want to talk about what they're feeling?
I feel more energy. I more of a lightness, more of a softer energy.
Softer.
More feminine, maybe. I don't know if feminine's the right word, but it's more soft, more gentle, nurturing, restful kind of energy.
Yeah. It's so nice, isn't it? It's the masculine energy was really dominating this planet for so long. And now we're shifting over to the feminine, which is exactly like you said. It's softer. It's we're shifting over to a heart-based reality, and everything is softer and based on the heart and the feminine aspect of nurturing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Anybody else?
Positive, determined. Just those feelings all around me.
Determined to do.
Determined to come into myself and do what I should have been doing a long time ago, but just didn't do it. Didn't think I could do it, but I can.
Yes, you can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's great. The title of my talk today is "The Guru is You," and a friend of mine pointed out that it's actually spelled G-U-R-U. G-U-R-U. You're the guru. It's no more masters, no more teachers, no more people guiding us. It's us. We're the ones who are going to lead in the shift now. It's all about us and going inward for our guidance. And anything else is polluted with other people's agendas. The true guidance, we have the best, pure, true guidance that we can have inside of us, and that's all we need. And it's everything that we need. Anybody else feeling anything?
Yeah. For me, I mean, probably the past 2 years, but especially this last year, just a lot of things coming up quicker as far as kind of lessons I need to learn and things that I see, and my reaction and other people's reactions to me just seem so much clearer these days than it used to be. And maybe I just wasn't paying as much attention or didn't care as much before, but it's very apparent lately, that I guess it's just part of the growing process, but I'm really paying attention, being more conscious of what I'm putting out and what other people, how they react to me and what I put out there. And along with that too is just, I like determination. I mean, I'm really becoming more focused on what I really need to do and stepping into my own power. And even, it's funny because, the whole feminine energy kind of thing, I've also just been more in touch with my feelings more, the past year.
That's great. We're all being asked to step into our power. It's a time where everyone who incarnated for this special time is being asked to step up and stand in your power and do what you came here to do.
Yeah, it's funny that Greg mentioned, and you mentioned about the feminine energy, because I was telling Susan when I came out of that meditation, when I opened my eyes, I had these two huge tears came down, right, and wet my face, and I'm not depressed, but it's I feel like a happiness and a sadness for things that are going on in the world at the same time. But like you said, I feel a profound sense of goodness and light. And it seems to be speeding up, and even with all the tragedies and everything, I don't even know what the answer is, but I don't know. And I've just been feeling a lot of sense of like ancestors around more frequently, and it's definitely something starting to speed. But at the same time, the more, even all the terrible things I hear, it just increases my faith that everything's good, everything, the duality of everything, the happiness and the sadness. That's all. I don't even know where I'm going with this, but it's definitely a feminine energy taking over the planet at some point, in some way. So it's about time, I guess, because I guess we've made a mess of it. Speaking as a male.
Well, we're all part of that male energy,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's gone. It's over with. That's the old paradigm. Now it's the new. We're going. It was balanced in this way to the masculine energy. Now we're just sort of bringing it back into alignment. Yeah.
I've felt a lot of stuff for quite a while, but in I guess the last year or two, just really getting clear about what are my thoughts and my vibrations. And you hit on it in talking about other people. The word you used was polluting with their influence. And I mean, I'm just very clear recognizing now, like, know thyself, knowing who I am, knowing what's me, and knowing what came from another source, whether it's God or source or another person. So I feel a great sense of relief, even though I've had a very turbulent, past 15 to 18 months. But my spiritual path, began a long time ago, and I, like the first speaker, I didn't really recognize it at first. I thought it was something odd or weird, or, even kids at school kind of thinking I was off or something, or relatives like, hey, what's up with this kid, from when I was young, when I was very young. And, but it's really just become much more clear, and this whole 1221 thing, I always felt was a great relief, a great opening. Before 9/11, 6 months prior to that, I felt extreme stress and negative energy, and I knew something was going on then. And the 6 to 12 months before this, I have just felt this really positive, good stuff. So I kind of contrast that with, the people who thought it's like the end of it, it's a doomsday or something, and the Armageddon, and it probably is Armageddon for people coming from like masculine energy, or what I would call third chakra or lower vibe energy, rather than now coming from higher energy. So it's, to me, it's just like it's a really amazing time, because there's so much opening up. And the other thing that I've experienced, this has just been a very wild sensation, which has been continuing for the last year or two. I have felt time slowing down. So I've actually felt like, and I haven't figured this out yet. I've talked to one friend who knows a lot about this, and one guy who knows a lot about this, but I've actually felt like each day is a little bit longer than the day before. And each month is longer than the month before.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Because I'm feeling the exact opposite, that things are, and so many people have been saying. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I also feel like time flies by. Like I spent New Year's this year with friends of mine who just had a kid, and that seems like it was 5 minutes ago. But on the other hand, that feels like it was 25 years ago. Even though it was just in January. So I can't really explain it. It may just be me. It may not have anything to do with anyone else. I don't know. But it's just this weird sensation. Like I'll do all this stuff and I'll do all this activity, and I'll be like, oh, it's only 3 o'clock. I thought it was going to be 5 or 6 when I got this done. And then I'll go do a bunch of other stuff, or I'll read, and it's like, okay, and wow, it's 5:15. I thought it was going to be 10 o'clock. I don't know. I just can't explain it, but it feels good. It feels like relieving in some way.
Yeah.
It's just this good feeling of relief that I've had. So I don't know what it is, but maybe it's the feminine energy influence or something. It's really cool.
It's great. Yeah. I think we're all living in the present moment. We're all in the now, and we're not in the old paradigm of linear time. And when you're in the now, it could take any form. It could go faster. It could go slower. It's just all based on the now, which is great. Anybody else? All right. I'm just going to give some of my thoughts on the shift and the new energy. we're now in the 8th biggest cosmic alignment we will ever experience. The Earth and the center of the Milky Galaxy will align, as it does, every 26,000 years or so. The second hand of the universal clock goes tick. We are one, and we have always been one, and we will always be one. One of the people that I really feel connected to, who was speaking a lot about the shift, is Akta, Mayan Elders. Anyone familiar with him? Isn't he awesome?
He really is.
Yeah. Anybody that I talk about is, it's really people that are resonating with my truth and how I feel things are going. Akta says the most intense ascension frequencies are happening from midnight the 21st to midnight on the 23rd. So we are at the peak right now. I mean, there are no accidents that you planned it at this time.
Brilliant!
Goosebumps.
The eight minutes the Maya speak of will occur in the center point 4 minutes either side of midnight on the 22nd. So that's tonight. So 11:56 p.m. to 12:04 a.m. we're going to be peaking. It's during this time that all of mankind will have access to the Akashic records and consequently the higher dimensions. So grab a pen and paper and write down all impressions that come to you. He says too, we're so close to spirit at this time, to write down all of the impressions, the 3 days before and the 3 days after the shift. You'll get incredible visions and insights. Write everything down, because you will forget it. It's only happening now when we're in the energy. I was guided to start a journal on the 21st because it's such an incredible time. This has never happened in the history of mankind where we can ascend in our bodies. We don't have to go off and study with gurus, go off to the Himalayas. We are ascending in our bodies. We have the eyes of the cosmos on us right now. There's a galactic party going on, and Mother Gaia is throwing it. We have the eyes of all of the galaxies and the universes on us, cheering us on. They're going, yeah, go. All of our guides, our ancestors. I mean, it's the most incredible time. And a lot of us have incarnated just to be here at this time. Do we have any star seeds here? Anybody feel they're a star seed? Yeah, you want to tell us about that a little bit?
I haven't felt enough about it. It's really just that feeling of, being kind of beyond this world, but I still definitely feel very connected to it. But just and things that I've read, I maybe it's one of Dory Virtue's books, had some qualities of star beings, and she described that kind of the purpose of the star beings being here at this time is to help awaken the planet and bringing these new energies, and that kind of is almost more like a prime directive over than just having a job and living out your regular kind of life, like a lot of people do. And I've always loved the stars and just staring up at the sky, and especially being out west when you can really see them. I just get lost, Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. Do you feel like you came here on a mission?
Yeah. It just took me a while to jump on it.
Yeah, and it's no accident that today's your first.
Yeah, Yeah, for
Yeah.
for me, what's interesting is like most of my life, it's kind of like, and you think it's like a delusion. It's like, you feel like you're supposed to be doing something bigger, and better. But like, I didn't know what it was, and I didn't get into the spiritual stuff till like 8 years ago, and I still didn't know what to do with it. In the past like 2 years, so we keep talking about this energy coming and us shifting and all that kind of stuff. Probably the past like 2 years, like I've really known that I need to get away from just being a graphic designer, web designer, like as my life job. But I wasn't really sure where I was going yet. I just knew that the shift was coming,
Mhm.
So, but now I know where I'm going.
Yeah. It's so interesting that a lot of us have backgrounds in marketing or advertising or communications that we can put to use now in the new energy. It's like we were preparing our whole life and we didn't know it for this moment.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Any other star seeds?
What's
Anybody
a
else?
star
Okay. Good question.
Sorry.
Good question. I always knew that I wasn't part of this earth. When I was little, growing up, I didn't understand war. People actually kill each other. It just did not make sense to me. I was like, no, I'm in the wrong place. I don't belong here. I never really fit in. I always felt like I was different. And I was probably around 7 or 8 when I realized that I was a starseed, that I came from other planets, and I just came here at this time to help the Earth and the people ascend. I since have found out that I'm more of a galactic traveler. I haven't been on Earth much at all, and when I do come here, I come on missions. I do my mission and then I leave. I was originally from Orion, and my secondary planet was the Pleiades, and my most recent planet before this incarnation was Arcturus, and I work a lot with the Arcturians now. They are very much involved with our ascension and the ascension of Earth. If you're interested, if you think you might be a star seed, then you probably are. I have a friend, her name is Jo Amazon, and she does Planet of Origin reports, which are absolutely wonderful. She also has a great website where she tells you all about all the different planets and the animals and the plants that come from each planet and the people. And it's absolutely fascinating. So you might want to check that out. Okay. What are some things that we can do right now to take advantage of this incredible energy? I keep being shown the ocean and waves coming up, wave after wave. And it's washing up all kinds of trash and debris and bottles and everything. And I'm being told that anything that isn't aligned with source, and if they're lower vibrational energies, that they're being washed up to shore, to our shore, so that we can deal with them and release them for good, clean out our oceans. So, I've noticed with my friends and with myself, I've been really emotional. All these relationships are, coming up, and a lot of hot buttons, a lot of things to deal with. It's great. It's absolutely wonderful. They're just coming up and they're hitting us in the face so that we can deal with them and release them and get on with the new energy from a pure foundation. The important thing is to remember not to get drawn into it, to observe them. Just say, oh, okay, that's what that is. Cool. All right. Thanks for serving me. Time to go. And just release it. Thank it, because we are all perfect, and everything is perfect. I am not perfect, but I am perfect the way I am. And everything is in perfect divine order. Just don't get drawn into all of the drama. Observe it. Okay, that's what that is. All right, great. Okay, thank you. Go and send it off. It's very important for us to connect to Father, Son, and Mother Gaia right now. Connect to the sun. If you just go out and spend some time in the sun, even if you just try gazing at the sun for around 10 seconds or so, and ask Father, Son to connect us to his energies. The only energy out there that I trust as pure is Father, Son, and Mother Gaia and me. It's like the Holy Trinity. Absorb all of the energy from the sun, because it's incredible right now. And the sun is sending all this energy to us. And all we have to do is say, yeah, connect me to it, and we're connected. The same with Mother Earth, with Gaia. Gaia doesn't need any healing. We don't need to heal Gaia. All we have to do is to stop abusing her, trashing the environment. We can align with Mother Gaia. We can align to the earth. Sit outside barefoot for a few minutes and meditate. Connect to the earth. Get grounded between Father, Son, and Mother Earth, and your inner self. That's all you need. We're really, like we talked about before, we're shifting from being in the mind to a heart-based reality. It's important before you make any major decisions, before you do anything, before you meditate, go get out of your head and go into your authentic heart space and come from there. How do you know? That's a good question. How do you know what your authentic heart space is? Just think about someone you love, babies, animals, music, a piece of music, play a piece of music. For me, the Beatles always does it for me. Or Canon and D, Mozart. Anything at all, whatever you resonate with, whatever you love, whichever makes you feel happy and joyful. Just bring that feeling into your heart, and then keep that feeling with you and stay heart-centered. What can we do right now to be a God-realized human? Meditate, meditate, meditate. It's not something to do later when you have the time. The time is now. This is it. All we have is now. Access the new energy, because it's like a wave that's carrying us. You can't deal with anything with all the junk and the clutter in your head. If you're smoking cigarettes or smoking coffee in the morning, you're just putting more stuff on top of the stuff that you carry over. So just, a few minutes in the morning, meditate, clear your mind, get into your heart space, and start the day off aligned. I'm going to caution you about bringing any light in from anywhere else. We don't know where the light is coming from. Especially, a lot of people are bringing light in into the crown chakras. The only light that we know is pure is within us. So we can go into our heart space, expand our light, send it out to the universe, send it out to whatever person or situation that you want to send it to. But be sure that it's your own authentic light. We don't need to bring in anything else. We just need to radiate our own light out. We need to watch our words because they're so powerful right now. Anything that we put out there goes somewhere. And we don't want to be putting out any negative words or feelings or reactions. There are high vibration words that we should try to use whenever possible. Peace, love, joy, things like that. Just be really conscious of what you're saying and what you're thinking, because what we're manifesting right now is pretty much instantaneous. We think it and it's manifested. So you really have to be guarded with your thoughts and your words. I saw on TV this morning that in response to the shootings in Newtown, that Ann Curry is doing a wonderful thing. She started 26 acts of kindness, which I think is an absolutely wonderful thing to do. We can just stay out of the anger and the blame and gun control, because if we go into those energies, we're just feeding it. What can we do? We can be kind. We can do acts of kindness. She is asking everyone to do 26 acts of kindness to counterbalance the energies of what happened there. So don't feed into all the negativity. Feed into peace and kindness and love. I saw that one of the guys went and bought 26 cups of coffee for people that came into Starbucks. Another child donated 26 teddy bears to a charity. We can do so many things. So just stay in love and kindness. And then also it releases, when you do something like that, it releases dopamine, the chemical in your body, which is actually the chemical of joy. And if you can do something for somebody without them knowing it, it's so much better, so much better. Be careful of the white light of conditional love. It's not authentic. And there are a lot of New Age groups. And the way that you can tell that it's not authentic is they're asking you to give your power over to them in some way. Follow my way. My way is the only way. They're asking you to go and connect to grid lines and to follow their agenda. There are a lot of ET races that are coming in with lower vibrational energies. They come in as all light and love, and they say, follow us. We'll show you, you poor little lowly human. We'll show you the right way. The fact is, they're lower vibrational energies than we are. I mean, they're second dimension. And, just be really careful of who you follow and whatever light you bring in. and just make sure it's authentic. Go into your heart and do a heart check. We can eat organic, healthy food right now. I found that I went through a detox, and I got rid of everything, that sugar and everything that wasn't healthy. And now I really don't want to eat any of that. We should try to eat organic foods as much as possible, vegetables, fruits. Drink a lot of water, especially water that is from a spring or distilled. We can use liquid chlorophyll, which is made from the sun, and it actually helps our cells to regenerate. You can put some in your water and drink it in your water. It helps us shift from a carbon-based being into a crystalline being, which we're all doing right now.
Chlorophyll will do that?
It helps us, yeah. It's a natural, it's made by the sun. And it helps regenerate our cells. Yeah, it's a wonderful thing. You know what we can do? Tell a joke. You get someone to smile, and it instantly raises the vibration. Laughter, high vibration activity. Does anybody know a good joke?
Well, you heard about the restaurant on the moon? You know, they put a restaurant up there. I heard the food is really good, but there's no atmosphere.
That's great.
It's spontaneous.
Any other jokes? Come on, I know you know them. All right.
Well, there's one that I heard here last night.
Okay.
Was that last night we were here?
Like
2 nights ago. How did this go? So the Dalai Lama goes to visit New York City. He's on a pilgrimage, and he wants to taste some authentic American food. So he's walking down Fifth Avenue and sees a hot dog vendor, and he kind of meditates on it and sits in front of the vendor with his arms out and says, "Make me one with everything." Wasn't my joke. But no.
Okay. Another thing I wanted to talk about is, can we take a look
The
at...
battery just died out here.
Oh, did it? Okay.
So, that's it?
Yeah, we'll have to switch it
Okay.
at the break, but that's fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Can we go beyond 3D right now? We have the energies. We have access to fifth dimensional energies and above. Why limit ourselves to 3D energies? So it's something to really think about. Don't put a limit on what you can do and the energies that you're working with. Can we go beyond the healing energies? When you go to the fifth dimension and above, there is no healing necessary because everything is perfectly aligned with the one. If we can get centered and focus on raising our vibration, I'm going to give you a tool called the Enlighten Game in a little bit. And just take ourselves to the place where there's no healing necessary because everything is perfect, and stay in that vibration. Just something to think about. Our concept of God. Meditate on your concept of God. What is God? And see where you're led and see if you can expand it. God is infinite. Just something to think about and meditate on. God. Can we go beyond our galactic heritage? I used to think that I was just so cool because I was, I'm a star seed and I work with the Arturians and all of that. But there's so much more beyond that. And can we let go of any limitations that we're using to define ourselves? Go beyond it. There is no limit to where we can go. Something that we can do right now before we go to sleep, and it's great to start with the energies of today and tomorrow. Before you go to sleep, say to your higher self, I will be in the highest vibrational state tonight. And have a pad and a pen handy and record your thoughts immediately when you wake up. And you have to do it as soon as you wake up because you'll forget it. Synchronicities. Is anyone noticing synchronicities? Just being in the right place at the right time.
Yes.
Yeah, it's happening more and more. This is like spirit telling us that we're on the right path. It's like a wink and a nod from spirit. Spirit helping us. Like, yeah, you're doing great. We're setting this all up for you. Just go for it. Align with synchronicities. They're so strong right now.
Yeah, for me, it's very apparent that when I'm in the right energy and flow, there's just everything is synchronistic, and it can be a day-to-day thing. And if I'm not in the right energy or like for some reason like in a bad mood, then it's kind of the opposite, like suddenly things are going wrong, But when I'm in the flow, and especially this event, just the way it came together. Perfect synchronicity.
Yeah. That's what happens when we're aligned. We don't have to do anything. We just have to be. And nothing starts at the point of manifestation. We can go so far beyond manifesting right now. Because when you start with manifesting, you're starting when it's at the physical level. And really what we need to do is go back and just be. And then it's like you're on automatic pilot. It's just everything just starts happening and flowing and synchronicities take place. We don't have to do anything. We just have to be and follow the guidance of our heart. And it's like you're on automatic pilot. It just happens. It's great. Can we switch from the pineal gland? There are a lot of different theories on the pineal gland. My feeling is that it's an overlay. It's a program that we've been implanted with. It's been calcified by our water and a lot of the things in our environment, and it's closed up and it's shriveled. Our third eye is not connected to the pineal gland. Can we go beyond the chakra systems? That's limiting us to 3D. Just kind of think about releasing that and going beyond that. Our third eye now is really, where do you think it is? If it's not in the mind, we're switching from the mind to the heart. This is our third eye. Everything is from here now. Everything is from here.
I've been working on doing visualizations to crack this. I feel like the third eye is all encrusted and heavy, and I'm visualizing it just all falling away and being very malleable. But now you're saying it's the heart, so maybe not so much to concentrate on that anymore then, right?
Yeah, it's like everything right now is heart-based. If we can just go into our heart, and we'll know when something is true or not. We'll know our own. It's all about shifting from the mind and the pineal gland, shifting from up here into our heart.
Okay.
Yeah, it all comes from the heart. Okay, back to Octave. What can we do right now? He says he's a Mayan, by the way. Do you know that there are actually 9 million Mayan people left on the world in the world? They didn't go anywhere at all. 9 million left. I thought that was amazing.
Yeah.
He says to bury a crystal in the earth, to clean it with distilled water or spring water and salt, sea salt, and buried into the earth with the intention of using it as a receiver to receive and anchor all of the energies. And I would do it before midnight tonight because this is the peak of the energies. And we can use it. We can ask it to receive all of the energies for our highest good and transmit them to us. And it's an amazing thing we can do. We don't need to turn our power over to crystals or anything like that. They're guides. They're just guides and aids to help us. So that would be a great thing to do right now. He says to gather in loving groups to do all kinds of movements to free the energy and to maintain happiness. He says to be in unity, be in happiness, and to follow your heart. Roomie is someone who I absolutely love. What Roomie said a very long time ago has so much relevance now. This is what Roomie said a long, long time ago. There's no light like yours. No breeze quick enough to carry your fragrance. When intelligence leaves its castle and walks through your forest lane, it doesn't know where or who it is. It just sits on the ground and babbles. There is no light greater than yours. You are the light. Roomie also said, only from the heart can you touch the sky. This is something that on the 21st I did a I Ching evaluation, and I was guided to the vision of a mountain. We are to remain as still as the mountain. We can't separate what we are from the earth, our mother. Reflect on the fact that she is us, and as above, so below. It wasn't working quite right for a long time. Have you noticed? A great galactic shift is here, and we, the residents of the earth, each of us are her cells and particles. We're going to be affected, and we're going to be affected big time. The effect is great no matter what we do or we don't do. We can choose to be a positive adjunct force in the galactic shift of vibration, this uptuning of the planet. Keep still like the mountain. This week, we are advised to be conscious receivers of the energies that are coming to the earth, which are activating her crystalline structure. Here we now stand between thunder and lightning. I love that, between thunder and lightning, between heaven and earth. This is you if you choose to remain in stillness, being mindful of the depths of your being, mindful that what you think is as important, if not more important, than what you do. Our thoughts, our words, our very being is, in its essence, vibration. That is why our speech, too, must be retuned, as Earth herself is being tuned into a higher vibration. It is the spirit that binds us together as an active part of Gaia. In stillness and receptibility, we join with the nobility of the galaxies, the galactic teachers who have chosen human channels here on Earth, have been giving us the opportunity to make this shift consciously. The true shamans, priests, and priestesses, sacred elders are delivering messages now that must be heard. For it is in hearing these words that you are being changed. Notice that a true teacher asked us to do nothing other than to listen to our own inner stillness, our own inner teacher. That's key right there. A true teacher tells you to go inside to the stillness. And that's one way you can tell if it's true guidance. This is the magic of this time. We must listen to our inner voices, as wild or as radical as they may sound. This is so different from the way you have believed or seen things for the greater part of your life. You are getting the truth, and this truth will only come to you in stillness and meditation. Some people are having great inner disturbances right now. Many people have latent longings, long suppressed, that are surfacing in rage and conflict. Remove yourself from these lower vibrations, both physically and mentally. Inwardly correct any negative self-talk that is a remnant of your past experiences. It's all about now. The past doesn't matter. It's not real. The future doesn't matter. It's not real. The only thing that matters is now. Eckhart Tolle says something great. He says, I and the present moment are one. We are one with the present moment. We are the present moment. If you're in a relationship or friendship and you don't feel love for that person, leave it. If that person is abusive in any way, leave. Go to stillness within yourself and open to a state of being receptive. You will receive inner teachings for sure, as well as great, glorious abundance, and harmonious mates and teachers will appear at all levels of your life. Synchronicities will happen. How do you tell the true teachings from the phony, ego-driven messages? Use your body as a barometer. You will feel what is true and right. It will feel good. What is not true won't feel good. This time is not about loose, free-flowing actions or consciousness. It's important to set limits and boundaries to your activities, to your expenditure of energy and thought forms, so that you can concentrate on what you're doing and feeling in these days. We, as a collective, are setting the intention for a true new golden age to come to Earth, a time of plenty and of love and harmony between all peoples.
Is that what you're looking at, Nancy? Was that all channeled for today? Or is
This
stuff
was,
you know?
these were, it's a combination of a lot of different things. It's what I'm getting right now, and an I-Ching that I did, and also messages from Okta, and a few other sources. All right. Let me just see if there's anything else. Okay, I want to give you a tool. I want to leave you with a tool. It's called the Enlighten Game. And this was developed by Orist Benji, who was a teacher and mentor of mine, Bill Hungerford, and it's based on 3 different things. It's based on Ho'oponopono. It's based on Dr. David Hawkins' teachings about consciousness. And it's based on Oris's perfections. What they did was they calibrated 50 words, and they went with the words that have the highest calibrations. And you take these words and you do a guided meditation using these words. And it's all we can get calibrated. We work with master calibrators, and if you want, I have a sign-up sheet that I'll pass around. If you want to get calibrated and start the game, you can get your baseline calibration, and then you can get calibrated each week to see where you are improving or not improving. And it's actually a great tool, and you can just sign up. I'll pass this around. So, Susan and Steve, do you want to talk about it a little bit? I know you...
Sure. Well, should I come up here?
Yeah, sure. Come on up.
Come on. Yeah, you did it too.
Mm-hmm.
We were at a meeting at a mutual friend's house, and that's when Nancy had introduced the game to us. And it's a matter of taking a word that's listed in the perfections, and then there's a process that I'm sure she's going to go into in a minute. And you state the perfection, you own it, and then the second part of it, or you make a request to God, I suppose, that you would like this perfection to be yours, and then God responds. It's really quite a beautiful experience. And we did it. We were calibrated, to see where we stood, and we practiced it for a while. It had been recalibrated, but we did it for quite a while. And I work with people one-on-one, and I've been handing it out. And some people are calling me and saying, "Well, you work with a friend of mine, and I'd like a copy of that thing." And it's just spreading, and it's a wonderful way of really lifting your vibration. And you really feel good about it. And if you don't have time to do all of the words, you could pick out maybe the top 10 and do them. But ultimately, all of them are just so wonderful.
Yeah. I when I was introduced to it, I didn't get it right away, and I was like, "What the heck?" I mean, it does seem it's very different from what I'm used to in a prayer method, and I call it prayer. But as you go around the figure, or follow the procedure, to me it's like it started to come together in the sense that it's like just like going to God, the God, whatever God you choose to follow. So it's very powerful, and I can feel I just feel peace when I recite it, when I am diligent enough to recite it. So I want to thank you guys for.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
And it's easy and fun.
Yeah,
it's a game. It's a game because life is a game.
It's a game and a prayer.
It's not a job.
It's not in my itinerary. Where I came from, prayers weren't generally fun.
Do you want to stay here for a minute? We'll actually,
Sure.
we'll do a couple of the perfections on the game. All of the information, I know we're running really short on time right now, so I'm going to actually do a quick demonstration of it. All of the information on the Enlightened Game is on my website. It's nancybragin.com. So you can go on there, email me at any time if you want. I'm starting in a group in about 2 weeks, a new group, and we all go through it as a group and get calibrated. And when you do it as a group, everyone's energy comes together and builds, and it's so much more than when you just do it by yourself. So let me know if you're interested. All of the background on the game is there, and I do have some game boards today that you can have also to get started on it before you get calibrated. It's really simple, and it's a game. It's a guided meditation, and it's a game because life is a game, and it should be fun and joyful. I used to think you would have to be all serious when you're meditating. No, not at all, not at all. What you're doing is, this is called the Infinity Channel, and it's a request. We start off with a request. It's us talking to the Most High, and then we get a response from the Most High. It's actually consciousness, God, whatever you want to call it. It's the non-local, the one, the eternal quantum field. So it's we put our request out there, and then it is answered. And when you do this, you don't have to do it any special way. There are no rules. Whatever resonates with you, do it the way you want to do it. The way I like to, and also when you do these perfections, you're actually, you're storing them in your core being, and the more you store them and raise your level of consciousness, the more that's going to take over in your life and your way of being. It's really wonderful. We got some amazing results. What you want to do first is you state your intention. So take a couple of deep breaths. And I call in my highest self, and I just align. And you state your intention. Be clear on your intention. I am now going to play the Enlightened Game with the intention of raising my level of consciousness, and as I do it, I will raise the consciousness of the one, because we are all connected as one. And then you go into the perfection. Some people like to do them in order. They're listed down here and down here. They're ranked according to the highest vibrating words to the lowest. You just do whatever you feel guided to do. I've had times where I just don't understand compassion. That was a big theme of mine at the Each One Teach One. And I just used the word compassion until I actually felt compassion and experienced it. So you just do it whatever way you feel guided to. I'm going to start. I'll do the first one, and then you can each do one. Okay. First, you state the perfection. Okay. Peace. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Let the peace of the Most High be my peace. Thy will be done. We are one. I am peace. I'm sorry. I forgive you. I love you. Thank you. My peace is now your peace, Nancy. My will be done. We are one.
Do you want to borrow these?
No, that's okay.
I will.
Okay, go right ahead.
I'll go with joy. Joy. I'm sorry. I love you. Forgive me. Thank you. May the joy of the Most High be my joy. Thy will be done. I am joy. I'm sorry. Forgive you. I love you. Thank you. My joy is now your joy, Susan. My will be done.
Do you mind if I do joy? You took joy.
Oh, you know what?
You took that. She took
Do you
your
know
joy.
what? I have been, since the shift started, I've been getting certain key words and phrases. Joy has been like everywhere.
Yeah.
Just like we're so that is like so perfect that you're both. There are no accidents. It's so perfect.
It's a learning moment for me too, because when we eat out, like we order if something jumps at the menu, you know, and then like if Susan orders it first, we always have this little thing. We're married a long
And
time.
we usually order the same thing.
Yeah, and it's like,
Yeah.
no, I have to order something different because you can't. But it's like that told me I can do joy. And just,
Yeah,
Long
I keep
story
hearing.
short.
I keep hearing joy to the world, joy to the world, joy to the world. It's amazing. Yeah,
Joy.
so that's great. Synchronicities. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Let the joy of the Most High be my joy. Thy will be done. We are one. I am the joy. I'm sorry. I forgive you. I love you. Thank you. My joy is now your joy, Steve. My will be done. We are one.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just feel
Thanks very much.
Yeah, you can feel it. Yeah, that was wonderful.
Forgive me, I'm lost. Are you reading all those words from there that
Sure,
you're
yeah.
just not picking them out of the?
Oh no,
No,
there
they're on the
are.
chart.
You're just
There are
writing.
50 words, and they've been calibrated by master calibrators based on the Hawkins scale.
Right.
It starts with peace, consciousness, and it goes all the way to excellence. So you can do it any way you want. You can go
You're
through.
just picking the words that resonate with.
You can
me.
do it that way. You can do them in order. You can do it. There are no rules. It's a game. There are no definite rules. If you go to my website, it has all of the information
I am
there.
going to.
And by the way, there's no charge for any of this. There's no charge to be calibrated, to be part of the game, for the game boards, because that's how we roll in the new energy.
Wow.
This is a great book, Power versus Force. The game is based on this, and it's based on Hawkins. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. Any questions, let me know about the Enlightened Game or anything else. Everything's on my website. And thank you all so much for coming out today. Thank you. For honoring this guy. And I want to thank